Hi, Sean.
Hey, Tom. How you doing? This is Mike Sheehy from the Federal Bureau of Investigation. He's gonna sit in on our conversation and provide a little more detail about your case.
I'm very sorry for your loss, Mr. Hawkins.
Come on in. Sorry about the mess.
You all right? Just to follow up on yesterday, I've got the details of the coroner's report here for you. The cause of your son's death was a single laceration across the neck. There were no other signs of physical or sexual abuse.
Excuse me.
Tom, the FBI has made us aware of another case, a very similar case in Providence, Rhode Island. So the FBI has jurisdiction now, and Agent Sheehy will be taking the lead. I'll still be involved, and of course the city will give its full support.
What do you mean by a similar case?
Mr. Hawkins, your son was kidnapped from a local mall in the early afternoon, and he was murdered sometime around midnight the same night. An incident like this, with almost the same details and timeline, occurred about 6 weeks ago in Providence. And all the evidence suggests that it's the work of a single group rather than a random or copycat crime.
What kind of group are you talking about?
Well, we think it's some sort of ritualistic or religious group that uses sacrifice as part of its ceremony.
I'm sorry, like a satanic cult or something?
Like a cult, yes, but not satanic. And the best organized group I've ever encountered in my 30 years.
You're telling me some fucking asshole kidnapped and killed my son as a sacrifice?
I know that's hard to fathom, but that's likely what it was.
Tom, you should know that we have someone who's confessed to kidnapping Kevin. He's given a full confession to the kidnapping, but he's not given us anything else. FBI got the lead, and we brought him in last night.
Mr. Hawkins, this is extremely confidential, but we have someone undercover. So we think this is very solid.
Where is he?
He's in custody. There'll be an arraignment next week.
So what happens at the arraignment? Does he just plead guilty since he's already confessed, right?
No. Even if his lawyer allows him to plead guilty, which probably won't, the judge won't accept it at this point. There'll be psychological evaluations ordered. There won't be a formal hearing for probably a couple months.
It'll take that long, even with a confession?
I know, I'm sorry, yes.
Under the Lindbergh law, kidnapping and harming a child is a capital offense. So it's a comprehensive process.
When is this arraignment?
First case on Monday.
Mr. Hawkins, before the arraignment, my team and I would like to discuss this case with you further, sometime in the next couple of days.
Yeah, it'll have to be tomorrow, if that's okay. They have a funeral on Thursday, and...
Tomorrow's fine. 10 a.m. be all right? You can just come down to the police station. We're headquartered there for the duration. I'd like to give you my card in case anything else comes up that you'd like to discuss. If you remember something, anything at all you want to talk about, you can call me at any time.
Okay. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you for your time.
Get you anything? A cup of coffee, a glass of water? No, thanks. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend a coffee. We don't screw up the water too bad. Hey guys, it's Tom Hawkins. Come find me when you're done, okay?
Mr. Hawkins, good to see you again. I'd like to introduce you to Special Agent David Richardson, Special Agent Andrew Miller. Agent Miller is our inside connection. He got us the lead on the suspect in custody. Tom, please have a seat. What we're going to do this morning is have you tell us in as much detail as you can everything that happened at the mall. We'll give you some background on what we know so far, and we'd like to show you some photographs of a few people that we're interested in. Sound good?
Yeah. Where do you want to start?
Well, tell us when you left for the mall. Tell us when you got there, where you parked, where you entered, everything that you can possibly remember in as much detail as you can.
All right. Kevin and I left the house a little bit after 10 o'clock. I just needed to pick up a few things for a work function later this week. I wanted to make it quick so Kevin wouldn't get too bored. He got into his booster seat and we headed to the mall.
Do you happen to remember which route you took to the mall?
Yeah, we just went down Allen Street, then took Route 18 to exit 49, and we were there.
Dad,
Yeah.
can we get some new toys while we're here?
Buddy, didn't you agree in the car that we were just gonna get a couple of things for Daddy, and then we're gonna go to the park and play?
Yeah, but if we get the toys now, we can bring them to the park and then play with them at the park.
Oh. Wait a minute. Don't you already have a bunch of toys from your birthday and from Christmas and your grandparents that are just like new? So why don't we just play with those?
Yeah, but I got those a few months ago and they're really old. New toys are the best.
Listen, if we get this shopping that I need to get done quickly, maybe we'll see about getting some toys, all right?
Okay.
Deal?
Deal.
You happy about that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's go, Mom.
I bought a tie and a pair of shoes. Kevin was fine. He was just a little antsy. We finished shopping around 11:30, 12. Then we started walking back to where we came in.
And as you were walking back, did you notice anyone following you?
No, not that I could think of. So as we were walking back, I ran into a colleague from work and we started chatting.
Daddy, look.
Oh, wow, that's pretty cool, buddy. Yeah, let me just say hi to Daddy's friend first, Mr. Turner.
Hey,
How
what's
are
going
you,
on?
my man?
I'm doing great. How's everything with you?
I'm good. I'm just picking up a few things for that dinner Thursday night.
That dinner?
Gonna look good for the new guys, right?
Oh, the dinner with the team from
Yeah,
Dallas.
that's right. Hey,
Cool
this is
thing?
my son, Kevin. Kevin,
Kev.
can you say hi to Alvin?
How you doing, buddy?
Alvin and I work together.
Yeah. Listen, is your daddy buying you everything you want in this mall today? Come on. He can, you know. I'm telling you, he's got the money.
Don't go there, please, please.
Tell me
Have
about
you
it.
seen the numbers for this?
No, not yet. My team's been in the data room all week. Unfortunately, I haven't had time to look at the report outs, but I'll get to it as soon as I get a chance.
Management's really, really good.
Yeah?
CEO's a really good guy too.
Good.
Head of sales, amazing.
Excellent.
Only problem is the CFO. It's kind of a tool. So,
It's
what I'm
just
thinking.
right there, Dad. Can I
Oh, no.
please
No,
have
I,
Come on,
the
you
look
haven't
on
heard
your
what-
face, I know what
2
you're
years
thinking.
max. We go to Dallas.
We?
No, I'll
there.
drive you there. All right, you know? Okay, go ahead. Go over there. Just don't go anywhere, okay? Just stay where I can see you, all right? Okay.
You wish you had that energy. Tom, I'm not going to Dallas. It's
Big
too hot.
cowboy
now.
hat. You already get the
Oh, yeah,
duster.
yeah.
Wanna try it?
Yeah, sure.
All seriousness? Yeah. 600 million in revenue.
I like
7% organic growth. Well, if I can get them for 28 a share, which I think I can.
I'll tell you, that would be great.
We get but we get 28 a share. You know what we're looking at if we get 20. Whoa, where's Kevin? Hey, where's there was a little boy here with a gray jacket and a red shirt. Where'd he go?
He was here just a second ago.
Hey Alvin, can you check these stores in here?
I got you. Yeah, no problem.
Kevin!
We looked for him for about 10 minutes. Then we checked with security, but no one had seen him. That's when we called the police.
Alvin Turner. How long have you known him?
About 6 years.
And this guy just happened to be at the mall the day your son was kidnapped? You trust this guy?
Yeah, I trust him. He went to Wharton, all right? He's an executive at one of the biggest companies in the world, so yeah, I trust him.
Tom, what happened to Kevin is almost identical to what happened in Providence. They have a very elaborate setup. They get jobs at local malls and other crowded locations using pseudonyms, false IDs, socials, the usual. They case everything for a week or two, they plan everything very carefully, and then they disappear after the abduction. We've been checking thousands of records at malls and other sites across 5 states, but it's been a challenge. They know not to give too much or too little information. Very sophisticated.
How do they know so much? Do you think they have an inside connection or something?
They might. We're not ruling it out. Tom, we'd like to show you some photographs now. All you have to do is tell us if anyone looks familiar. This is absolutely critical that we get this right, so take your time.
Mr. Hawkins, these are some interested parties we have in the case. Now, I need to emphasize that just because they're in this book does not mean they're guilty of committing any crimes.
I understand.
Does, he look familiar to you?
No, not familiar.
If any of the others don't seem familiar at first glance, just take a few seconds. Envision them with different hairstyles or hair colors, facial hair.
No, I don't think I've seen her before.
What about him? That's the kid from the stand in the mall. He was the one that Kevin was playing with just before he disappeared.
He was part of this, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. He left the mall a few minutes after the abduction.
What a motherfucker.
And, what about her?
No, I don't know her. Is she really a suspect?
No. I mean, not necessarily. This is just to see if any of these people ring any bells.
And final one.
No, doesn't look familiar.
Tom, this fellow's name is Paul Carney. He's the one who's confessed to having kidnapped Kevin. Are you sure you didn't see him at the mall? If we can place him there, then his statement has a lot more credence. Otherwise, there's a chance he's just covering for someone. And it opens the door to an insanity plea.
No, I can't place him.
Tom, this is security footage of Kevin actually being kidnapped. Now, I think it's important that you see it because it just could jar some other thought. But if it's too much for you at this point, just say the word and we can do it another time.
No, I'm okay. I'm okay. Play it.
All right. Now look at this part very carefully.
All right, I'm going to zoom in on the door now and play it very slowly. Watch again.
That's him, isn't it?
It looks like him. It's probably him, but the tape's not clear enough to get a conviction.
You all right?
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
One more thing. Everything that was discussed here has to remain confidential. Nothing leaves this office, okay?
Sure.
Alvin Turner? Why would you bring up Alvin Turner? He has nothing to do with this case. You better get your shit together. You're gonna be riding a desk. You're never gonna see the outside of the fucking Hoover building again.
Mr. Hawkins, I'd like to express my deepest sympathy to you. We've assisted thousands of families over the years, but I can't remember one that has saddened me more than this. Would you like to spend some time alone with your son before the guests arrive?
Yes. No. Oh God, I love you so much. I love you so much. Oh my
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Jesus exclaimed, I bless you, Father, Lord of heaven and earth, for hiding these things from the learned and the clever, revealing them to mere children. Yes, Father, for that is what it pleased you to do. Everything has been entrusted to me by my Father, and no one knows the Son except the Father, just as no one knows the Father except the Son, and those to whom the Son chooses to reveal him. Come to me, all you who labor and are overburdened, and I will give you rest. Yes, my yoke is easy, and my burden light. The Gospel of the Lord. It is said that time heals all wounds. But since the loss of our glorious son, Kevin, time has stood completely still. I wish I could provide some reasoning or explain some purpose for why Kevin was taken from us. But the answers to certain mysteries are only revealed in the kingdom of heaven. This is the Lamb of God who takes away the sins of the world. Happy are those who are called to his supper.
Hang in there.
Good.
Okay. You need anything, you know I'm there. Anything.
I'm sorry, son. I wish there was something I could do to make it all go away.
Thank you, Brian.
The board and all of our employees pass along the deepest sympathy. I don't want you to even give a thought about work.
Thank you, Brian. Hey, big guy. Thanks for coming.
I just don't understand that.
Doesn't make any sense. Hey, can you stick around for a few minutes? Everyone's gone.
Up here.
I need you to do me a favor.
What, man? What is it?
Might get us in a little trouble, so don't feel bad about saying no, okay?
I don't give a fuck, man. What is it?
This conversation never happened. Cops got one of the guys involved in this. He's confessed to kidnapping Kevin.
Rip his fucking spine out.
I need you to come to the arraignment with me on Monday. You know where the courthouse is, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
I want you to get there at 9:30.
Hawkins, Mr. Hawkins. Yorick, the Connecticut Herald. Is it true that the suspect being arraigned is giving a confession? How do you feel? Have you met with the FBI yet?
Hey, Tom. How you doing?
Good, how you doing?
I'm all right. I didn't know you were coming in for this.
No, I can't stay. I'm on duty. Sorry. Just want to come check on you, see how you're doing.
Good.
Good. How's the press? They giving you a hard time?
No, not really. This guy Fiore asked me a few questions, but I just kept walking, you know?
Yeah, Tony. Yeah, I know him. Look, he's basically harmless. Although I can't quite decide if he should be running for governor or behind bars.
Right.
Okay, look, I'll try to catch up with you later.
Sounds good.
Hang in there.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All rise. Honorable Judge Francis Brennan presiding.
Be seated. The first matter on the court's docket this morning is the State of Connecticut versus Paul Carney. Would the defendant please rise? Mr. Carney, you've been charged with the crimes of kidnapping and accessory to murder. Do you understand these charges and the consequences should you be found guilty?
Your Honor, my client understands the charges brought against him.
What does the defendant plead?
Defendant pleads not guilty.
Prosecution have any notices?
Yes, Your Honor. We have a 71031A, a confession. The prosecution requests that bail be denied for the defendant.
Your Honor, the defense requests that the defendant receive psychological evaluation to determine if he is mentally competent to provide a confession and to stand trial for the charges filed against him.
The defendant will be held without bail and without prejudice. Psychological evaluations will be approved and should be completed within 8 weeks. Does either side have any further comment?
I don't need no mental test. What I did was
Mr. Carney, I advise you to keep your mouth shut and let your lawyer handle these proceedings.
Let's go.
You fucking coward! How could you do that to an innocent child?
From the tragedy of one comes great healing for many.
You're gonna pay for this right fucking now!
So, where do things stand? What do we know?
Not much. I've pretty much just been getting the silent treatment from everybody. The only people that I ever actually interact with are just the other new recruits. Most of them are just lost souls and runaways, and they don't know shit.
Any of them been involved in these kidnappings?
No, I don't think so, at least not down on my level. We're all just little cogs in a wheel. But I do know these guys are meticulous. They're obsessed with every single detail. If they ask you to do something, sometimes you gotta go do it 2, 3 times so they're satisfied with what you bring them.
And where does all the information go?
I don't know. It's all siloed. It's all separate. That's how they fly under the radar. Look, it's like this. One person gives an order to a small group, right? They complete the task, they report back to the person that gave them the order, and then that's it. Everybody else is in the dark, they don't say a word to anybody else.
So, in the Hawkins case, the driver, Carney, the kid at the stand, if they're in one group, they're working for one person.
Exactly. But to set that up, they go down to all the grunts, they have them do the legwork, they bring the information, they bring it back up, they never know what's going on, that's it.
Any word on motive?
Not really. I mean, I hear people talking, but it's nothing substantial. Really, what we're dealing with here is a bunch of religious extremists.
Yeah, well, they're definitely extremists. But with 2 events that are this calculated, something's driving it. What have you got so far?
Well, I've gone over all the lab reports, and there's no doubt it's the same group as Providence. Both lacerations are identical, and both bodies had significant traces of natron on them.
Natron? Salt?
Yes, exactly. It's a salt compound the Egyptians would use to wash and purify the bodies before mummification. It doesn't really make sense. The Egyptians didn't believe in human sacrifice. I've gone over all the typical patterns, and I'm digging into some more Byzantine theories right now.
All right, well, let me know when you get a lead. So what's next?
Well, I got a meeting on Friday with, where is she? Okay, this girl right here. I don't know what we're doing. They didn't tell me anything, but I'll get you something.
Yeah, all right, well, keep talking to as many people as you can. Someone's gonna talk too much sooner or later. How's your cover?
It's perfect. Watertight, nobody suspects a thing.
All right, well, make sure that it stays that way. Now, what's the story on Carney? Are we ever going to be able to get anything out of him other than a massive lawsuit?
I don't think we'll be able to talk with him anytime soon.
Let's get Higgins in here.
You give me Sean, please.
Can you believe that scene in the courtroom?
You think he planned that?
Yeah, he might have. He's pretty shrewd. And you know what? He thinks that he doesn't have anything to lose right now, and that's a dangerous combination.
What's up?
Hi, Sean. How are you?
Good.
What's Carney's condition?
He's alive.
Are we going to be able to talk to him anytime soon?
Well, it looks a little like Frankenstein with all the stitches in his neck. I don't think he's going to be talking to anybody anytime soon.
And what about Hawkins?
What about him? He was released on his own recognizance.
What are you talking about?
He got a slap on the wrist for disrupting a courtroom proceeding.
That's it?
Of course. Wait, you guys have any idea how well connected this guy is? His boss is Brian Fielding.
Who's that? Who is that?
You're kidding me. An economic advisor to the president. Okay, this is not an ordinary citizen we're talking about. Anyway, he was ordered to see a state psychiatrist.
Dr. Broder?
Yes. Tom Hawkins?
Yep.
Come on in.
Dr. Broder?
Yes. Tracy Broder, very nice to meet you.
Hi. Nice to meet you too. How are you?
Good.
Dr. Broder?
Yes. It's been a busy week, but that seems to make the days go by quickly.
Yeah, busy's good.
Would you like to have a seat?
Yeah, I guess that's how it works, huh?
Listen, I know these things can be kind of awkward, so for this first meeting, I find it's usually best that we just keep it light and try to get to know each other a little bit. Is that okay?
Yeah. To be honest with you, I've never seen a psychiatrist before, so this is all new to me.
Oh, that's good to know. Feel free to ask any questions as we go along.
Okay, what do I call you during these meetings?
Well, most of my patients call me Dr. Broder. But if it makes you more comfortable, you can call me Tracy.
Okay, thanks.
So I've gone over your case in detail, but like I said, I'd rather not discuss it at this meeting. Would you mind just telling me a little something about yourself to get started?
I don't know. I grew up not too far away. I went to college in Pennsylvania, and now I work.
Come on now. There must be more to Tom Hawkins than where he grew up, where he went to college, and that he has a job. Tell me about you. What do you like to do?
Well, I work a lot, so I don't have all that much free time. When I do have time, I like to run, stay fit, read.
What do you like to read?
Business books, mostly. But if there's something I'm interested in, I'll read up on it.
Like what? Can you give me an example?
Well, one time I drove across this really cool medieval bridge outside of London, and I started thinking about how amazing the engineering has to be to make a bridge like that, especially way back then. And then I started thinking about more modern bridges. You know, how do they do all that construction underwater? How do they pick the proper location? How do they make sure it can handle the weight they need it to, you know? Whatever. So I wanted to learn more about bridges, and I read a few books about them.
So you know a lot about bridges now.
I know everything about bridges.
So, you mentioned that you spend a lot of time at work. What do you do? Is that something you're comfortable talking about?
It's fine. I run our M&A department. We basically look for companies to buy. And if there's a part of our business that we want to sell or spin off, I do that too.
Do you enjoy it?
Yeah, it's interesting. When you're getting close to a deal, though, it can wear on you. You end up talking to lawyers and investment bankers at all hours of the night.
I can't think of anyone I'd rather talk to at 2 in the morning.
What about you? Do you like what you do?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. It's not very glamorous, but it's what I like to do.
I hear you, but you got a couple of pieces of paper on the wall over there from some pretty fancy schools. Why are you working for the state instead of a private practice?
Maybe I will someday, but for right now, this is what's right for me.
Fair enough.
Hey, Mike.
You alone?
Yeah.
Miller on track?
Yeah, pretty much. He's a little sloppy for my taste, but nothing significant.
How are your Byzantine theories coming along?
Oh, they're not using any known mathematical patterns. I ran prime factor decomposition on all numbers. I'm on to mythology and astrological research now.
Okay, keep up the good work.
Unless there's anything else you want to discuss, why don't we end early today and pick up more formally next time?
Sounds good. Nice meeting you.
It's my pleasure. It's refreshing to have a client who's not wearing shackles and a jumpsuit. This is my card. Please call me anytime you feel you want to talk. And that's my mobile.
All right. Thanks. See you next week.
Good morning, Mr. Hawkins. Anthony Fiore from the Connecticut Herald. Did you have to come here because of the incident in the courtroom?
How'd you know I was here? What, are you following me?
I'm a reporter. It's my job to know. You have a few minutes for a story? How'd you get released so quickly after what happened in the courtroom?
I don't know.
All I need is 10 minutes. When's a good day?
It's February 30th.
Lisa?
Yeah?
I'm Andy.
Who have you talked to so far?
Just Dan. He told me to come meet you here.
Did he tell you anything else?
No, just you tell me what was going on.
We need you to check something out. Do you have a car?
No, I can get one now.
Good. There's a fair going on for a couple of weeks up in Massachusetts. We need you to check everything out.
I can do that.
Just a day. 2 at most. There's a couple of people up there you can crash with if you need to.
Okay.
And see if you can get it right on the first try this time.
I know, it's stupid. I didn't know what I was looking for at the mall, so they had me go back again, but you can trust me now. I know what I'm doing, so it's all right. How'd you hear about that?
I just heard. Anyway, you don't have time to dick around on this one, though. Everything's got to happen fast.
Hey, wait. What happens next? What do I do?
Just get the car. We'll get the rest later.
Hang on. Are you hungry at all? Because I'm starving. I got some money if you want to go grab some food.
Yeah, all right.
Mike, you got a second?
Yeah. And, let me know when you get hold of her. What have you got?
Not sure yet, but it doesn't seem good. So I've been pulling videos of the mall for the month before the Hawkins abduction. This is from 12 days before he was taken. And this is from 10 days. What the? And this is from the following day. If Miller knew all about this, Why did he give us the wrong dates for the kidnapping?
Maybe they gave him the wrong dates as a precaution. Where is he?
He's meeting with that female POI.
Well, we'll figure out when we can get him in here. Let me know.
How's your food?
It's all right.
So, are you from around here?
Yeah.
Are there a lot of us that live in this area?
I guess, but who knows?
That's weird. It's like nobody seems to know each other. How do you ever get to meet other people?
You ask a lot of fucking questions, man.
Yeah. Sorry.
It just happens over time. It's good not to know too much.
Why?
Because people talk, and then all of a sudden the wrong ones know too much and fuck it up for everyone else.
You think if I do a good job on this one, maybe you could introduce me to some of the others?
Why do you want to meet more people?
I could meet the right people. I could help out with more stuff, and then I don't know, actually just feel like I'm a part of something.
Well, do this. Stay with the people up there. You'll get to know them. And maybe when we meet up to see what you brought back, I can bring someone else.
Yeah, that'd be great. So, what's your story?
What do you mean, what's my story?
I don't know, I mean, do you have like you have a boyfriend or anything?
No. No boyfriend or anything.
Well, you should. I mean, you seem pretty cool. How's it going?
Hey. There you go. That should be everything you need.
Okay. Thanks for inviting me to that party the other night. It was good to meet some new people.
Everyone really liked you.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good. People usually think I'm a douche, but I guess I'll take it. All right, I should go.
Mike, it's Tom Hawkins.
Hi, Tom. What can I do for you?
I just saw Miller hanging out with one of the girls in the photos you guys showed me. It, didn't look good, Mike.
Tom, he's undercover. He's got to do anything he can to make them believe that he's on their
Yeah,
side.
I get it, but there's gotta be a better way than sucking face with some skank in broad daylight, okay?
Where was he?
Aren't you supposed to know where he is?
I don't track every move, Tom. I'm sure he'll update me the next time we debrief. Where did you see him?
Up in Meriden.
Tom, you shouldn't be going to the tower. What were you doing up there?
I was just checking it out, right?
Was Miller at the scene?
No, I saw him later in the town center.
Did you approach him?
No, I just watched him from my car. Neither of them saw me. Don't worry about that.
Good, that's good. Tom, I understand how this looks, but we have to be extremely careful not to blow an agent's cover. We're talking life and death. Please, promise me you won't tail him.
Look, I didn't tail him, all right? I just happened to be there. But listen, you and I need to straighten this out. That fucking idiot is up to something, all right?
Okay. Can you come in tomorrow morning and tell me everything you saw?
I can't tomorrow morning. I have another one of those therapy sessions. How about later in the day?
That's fine. Let me know when you're done with the session.
Gotcha.
So, as I was saying, I've read your case, and I know this must be extremely difficult for you. But I really need to understand you, especially your relationship with your son. Are you comfortable describing the details of your relationship with Kevin?
Not really.
How about if I just ask you some general questions to get started?
All right.
We'll start easy. How much time did Kevin spend with you as compared to his mother?
He spends most of his time with me. He stays with Heather every other weekend.
But did you and Heather ever try to stay together?
No, we never had a relationship. I met her out one night, and we saw each other a couple times after that. That was it. The idea of getting married or living together never even came up. It wasn't right for either of us at the time.
How did you and Heather determine that you would have custody?
We both agreed that it was the better thing to do. She was struggling to start a career. She had Kevin most of the time for the first 3 years. And then he started living with me. It's what I really wanted.
Why'd you want that?
He's my son. I love him more than anything.
Is Miller scouting a location today?
Yeah, he's up in Mass.
So we can't contact Turner?
No, it's not secure. Why?
Hawkins went up to the scene at Meriden yesterday.
Jesus Christ.
You know, it gets worse. He said he saw Miller meeting the POI up there, and he said that he was kissing her.
One of us has got to talk to Tom before he finds Miller again.
Well, I calmed him down a little bit yesterday, and he's coming in this afternoon, so we'll find out the details then. But we got to find out what the hell's going on with Miller.
I did check his phone records this morning, and there were several texts from the POI, Lisa. I don't know if it was a tactic or genuine interest, but they certainly were flirtatious.
So whichever one of us talks to him first, tell him we need to see him ASAP. But don't make it sound like there's an issue. Okay, so what have you got for us?
Well, I
Please
think I
let us
figured
know.
out the motives and how they're picking the dates for the sacrifices.
Well, tell us.
They're using a tonal puwali.
Wait, what now?
You mind hitting the lights?
Yeah.
A tonal puwali. It's part of the ancient Aztec calendar. The Aztecs were notorious for the number of human sacrifices they performed. During certain ceremonies, they would sacrifice up to 80,000 people in 4 days. 1 in every 5 children were sacrificed. The Aztec calendar operates like 3 gears working together. The first 2 pieces make up what's called the tonal puwali. The smaller one is split up into 13 sections, each representing different days. The larger one has 20 sections on it, each representing a different god. Each day aligns with a god. After the larger one goes around 13 times, it's back to the original starting point. Think of it like a 260-day year, 13 months of 20 days.
What about the third gear?
The third gear, or wheel as they call it, has 360 days. It's basically a traditional calendar year. It was used to time seasons rather than having anything to do with the gods. All 3 of them would work together, and it would take 52 years to get back to the original starting point. Think of it like the Aztec equivalent of a century. Once the century started anew, it represented a time of rebirth for the Aztec Empire. That's when they had the ceremonies with the massive sacrifices. Now, at the end of the ceremonies, they would rely on the weather to let them know if the gods were happy. If it was sunny, they believed the gods would bestow on them another 52 years of prosperity. If it wasn't sunny, they would continue the sacrifices each day until they believed the gods were happy and gave them sun. The sun god was the most powerful of all the gods. These 3 wheels would actually be stacked and form one giant circular calendar with the sun god directly in the middle. It's called the sunstone.
What's all this mean to us?
The start of the Aztec century began just a couple of months ago. That's why they're doing the sacrifices. The 6th section of the wheel was called the Mekisli. It represents death. The kid in Rhode Island was killed on the day of death in the 1st month, and then it snowed the next day. The Hawkins boy was killed on the day of death in the 3rd month, and then it rained the day after.
So why did they skip a month?
Maybe they didn't have time to prepare.
That's what I thought at first, but it's not right. The combination of days in the tonal puwali are viewed as either good days or bad days for death. The 2nd month death combination wasn't a good day, so they never would have performed a sacrifice then. The 1st and 3rd months were good days.
What about the 4th month?
That's when the Mekisli aligns with day 1 of the smaller wheel. It's the perfect day for death.
When is it?
Saturday. We only have a few days left. They're gonna kill another kid.
The worst part for me is that I always told him that I would never let anything bad happen to him. And I always told him that if anyone ever hurt him, that I would take care of it.
Is that why you did what you did at the arraignment?
That, and because he deserved it.
No. What do you mean by that?
I mean, a guy does something that despicable. He confesses to it, then basically tries to justify it. And now he's gonna spend the rest of his life in a jail cell while the dopes in the court system try to figure it out.
But Tom, the system is set up for a reason. Now, granted, it's not always fair in everyone's eyes, and it takes time, but it's a good system.
I understand that. My point is, there is no punishment too great or too swift for someone like that.
Shouldn't the court decide the punishment?
The guy confessed to a capital crime. I was just trying to speed up the process.
So by retaliating against the suspect in the courtroom. Do you feel satisfied that you've done what you need to do to move on?
Kidding me? I haven't even started.
What do you mean by that?
What do you think I mean?
Tom, hi. Thanks for coming.
It's all
What's
this.
Well, it's an organizational chart for how you
What's
think the
important?
group that we're tracking is set up.
Who's that?
This is Lisa Zaliski. She's an organizer for the group, relatively influential.
Yeah, she's the one I saw Miller with yesterday.
What did you see?
They were standing very close, whispering to each other for 2 or 3 minutes, then they started kissing. I mean, what's his deal, man?
I told you yesterday, he's undercover.
Yeah, I know he's undercover, but something else is going on. He knows more than he's telling you. Where the fuck are they getting their information from, huh? It better not be
We're
him.
debriefing.
I
I said
guarantee you,
we're-
he is holding something
We're
back.
debriefing
Mike.
him tomorrow. And we need to make sure that there's no interference or anything else that will blow his cover. If anything comes up from him or anybody else, I will let you know.
The base of St. Stephen's Tower. FBI workers are now investigating. FBI workers are now investigating. I have some information about the boy who was found dead at the bottom of St. Stephen's Tower.
Can I have your name and address, please?
No. I just want to talk to somebody about it.
Mr. Thomas claims to be a longtime member of the group we're investigating. He's already provided us with several names of people who might have more information on the abductions.
Mr. Thomas, we're very grateful that you've come in to see us. Would you mind giving us some details about the group?
Oh, no, I don't mind.
Why don't you start by telling us about your affiliation with it?
Well, I've been part of the group for over 20 years. It started out as a prayer group. We'd get together, bring our families, have barbecues. It was very nice. That is, up until about 5 years ago. That was when everything changed.
How exactly did they change?
It seemed like some new people were sort of taking control. They wanted to become very secretive, and they started doing some weird stuff.
Like what?
Well, we were always very traditional, you know? You see, we had our routines and we liked them. But then we started experimenting with a lot of different stuff. One week, we'd do this ritual that they told us was from Africa or South America. Next time might be something like some kind of weird seance. It was a bunch of different stuff. Then, just a couple of years ago, they started doing offerings.
What kind of offerings?
First, it was just to give thanks and offerings of food. But then it was small animals, and now, well, you know where they've gotten to now. We should have just kept it Christian.
Why do they do these offerings?
They say that all of us build up sins, and to be absolved of those sins, a sacrifice is required. A sacrifice of one can heal the souls of many, is what they say.
Is there some sort of hierarchy in this group?
Of course. From what I understand now, only the very top is involved in the offerings. Nobody really knows who they are except a handful of people.
Mr. Thomas, would you mind reviewing some photographs with us and see if we can match them up to your names?
I can try.
about the case now?
What do you want to talk about? Just leave me alone.
I wanted to ask some questions about what happened in the courtroom.
You were there, weren't you?
Yeah.
So then you know what happened.
Yeah, but I want to know your side of the story.
I don't have one.
What do you think about the FBI botching the operations at the mall?
What the fuck are you talking about?
You didn't hear any of this yet?
No.
Listen, you didn't hear it from me, but the word is that someone from the FBI actually cased the mall for that cult and got the dates wrong for the arrests.
But how would you even know about that?
Come on. How do you think the cops afford all those BMWs? Those guys get more money to dish the inside scoop than I get paid all year. And they're usually 100% correct.
Was it Miller?
Who's Miller?
No.
Get the fuck off my property.
Can you match any of the other names to these photographs?
This is Sam Wright. I don't see any of the others.
Where does he sit in the tree?
Oh, he'd be right up there next to me. But he's dead now.
How did he die?
His house caught fire one night. He didn't make it out.
What do you know about the leader of this group?
Not much.
What's a
just
warden?
that I sense that he's younger.
What makes you think the leader is young?
I don't know. Me and some of the other older people in the group just felt sort of out of touch with things that were happening.
Do you know this person?
No, I don't recognize her.
What about him?
No, I don't know him either.
Good. Well, thank you very much for all your help today, Mr. Thomas. We may contact you again if we need anything further.
Oh, you can call me
Please
if you
have a
need
seat.
anything. The detective has my number.
Thank you again. Make sure that everything that we discussed here today remains completely confidential. I'm sure you can understand how sensitive this information could be.
I will.
Get a rundown on everybody on that list. She.
Hey, it's Tom Hawkins.
Hi, Tom. What's up?
Did Miller case the mall where Kevin was kidnapped?
He did.
What else did he do, Mike?
What have you heard?
I heard that he fucked up the dates, and that's why you weren't able to make the arrests.
That's not true. We had different dates, but they were changed at the last minute. It had nothing to do with his reconnaissance.
Mike, what if he just lied to you about the dates? Huh? How do you know he's not in on it? He's weak, Mike. You know that.
Tom, you're gonna have to trust me. But don't get carried away.
Could he have saved Kevin? Mike, could he have saved Kevin?
I don't know.
Hello, this is Tracy Broder.
Hi, Tracy. It's Tom Hawkins.
Tom, hi. Is everything okay?
Can I see you right now?
Sure, I'm at home right now, but I can meet you back at the office in about an hour or so.
I can come over if that's okay. I just need a quick sanity check on something.
Tom, I don't know if that's appropriate. There are certain boundaries that psychiatrists have with their patients that we need to watch.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. There's something that's really eating away at me.
All right, I'm on Perkins Street. You know where that is? 45.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, come on in. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Sorry about this. I just didn't know who else I could talk to.
Don't worry about it. Let's go sit down. So what's going on?
Everything we're about to discuss is completely confidential, right?
That's right. Sam Rolls is in my office.
All right, here's the deal. Do you know the details of my son's case?
Yes.
Okay. Obviously, it's being investigated by local police, but the FBI is also involved. Apparently, there was a similar case in Rhode Island, so it's getting a lot of attention.
Yeah, I know that part too.
All right. Well, here's the twist. The FBI has someone undercover that is getting pretty close to some of the people in the cult, or whatever it is you want to call it. And they've given him a few assignments to handle.
Keep going.
It turns out he was the one that cased the mall where my son was kidnapped.
How do you know that?
I heard a rumor, and then I confirmed it with someone who would know for sure. But listen, that's not even it. I met this guy. He's a loser. And what I heard is that he screwed up the dates, and that's how they were able to kidnap Kevin. The explanation was that the cult purposely gave him the wrong dates as some kind of a precaution. Now, even if I give him the benefit of the doubt on that one, I personally saw him having an intimate meeting with a girl they know is deeply rooted in the cult. Again, they tried to explain that away by saying it's part of his cover, but...
Well, Tom, those both sound like fairly reasonable explanations. You have to be very careful if you're going to imply that the FBI had something to do with this.
I know, but the other thing is that this group knows just way too much. There's definitely someone on the inside who's giving them information. So you put it all together and you can really see how he could be a part of this. He's got a weak mind, so he falls for a girl and gets sucked into the whole thing. He wants the sacrifice to happen, so he gives the wrong dates to the FBI for the kidnapping. And he knows how everything works, so he tells them how to design the entire operation. I mean, am I crazy, or does this make some sense?
No, you're not crazy. It does sound like more than just a coincidence. Are you sure about all this?
Absolutely. Everything's substantiated. It's just a matter of deciding whether it's all part of a plan or just a very, very unlikely string of coincidences.
How can you find out for sure?
The guy who's heading up the investigation is supposed to be pulling him in for a debriefing, and I'm just waiting to hear.
Tom, this is really heavy. Are you coping okay?
If I find out that he had anything to do with Kevin getting murdered, God help him.
Tom, now I can't come close to understanding what you're feeling, but even if you wipe out everyone involved in this, it's not going to change what happened. And your life will be over.
So this whole place just for you?
Yeah, just for me. It's okay. You can ask.
All right. What's the deal?
There've been a few close ones, but never the perfect one. It's the whole career, family, life thing. But it's fine. I'm happy.
I'm really sorry to bother you, come to your house and everything.
It's okay. It's important. Tom, would you mind if I asked you a question related to your therapy while I have you here?
No, fire away.
Were you ever harmed as a child?
No.
Okay. Thanks.
Right. Guess I'll see you later then.
Hey, so I'm like 25 minutes away. Are we still good for tonight?
No, I can't make it tonight. Something's come up.
Shit, that sucks. I was looking forward to seeing you all day.
I know, me too. Tomorrow works though if you're around. Like maybe in the afternoon.
Yeah, I think I could do tomorrow. I guess I can wait for one more day. Where should we meet?
I'll call you in the morning and let you know, okay?
Okay. It's too fucking easy.
Sit down, Andrew.
I can't just be waltzing in here like this, okay? It's tough getting away from these people right now, and if anybody saw me, I would be fucked. Where'd you get all this intel?
Why didn't you tell us about casing the mall?
I was brand new to them. But listen, I mean, they were watching every single thing I was doing. I'm with them 24/7. It's not like I can just walk away and make a phone call and try to meet up with you. They would have seen everything.
You could have told us at the first debriefing.
I know. Okay. I should have said something. All right, look. I didn't even know what I was looking for at the mall. They had me go there, then they switched the dates, the kid got killed, and I didn't even think it mattered.
Did they switch the dates, or did you just tell us the wrong ones?
What? Jesus Christ, Mike, they switched the dates.
Andrew, you're off the case.
What? What are you talking about? No, you can't pull me off the case. Look, this shit is not gonna stop, okay? They're going after the next kid within a couple of days. Listen, they're using some sort of archaic calendar, all right? I don't know how it works, but I'm gonna figure it out. I got a meeting today, I'm gonna learn more. Look, we know where the next setup is.
We knew where the last one was. You're done. Don't make any more contact. It could only pose a threat at this point. Now, go home and get some rest. You look off.
I need to make a confession, Father.
All right. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen.
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. It's been a long time since my last confession. These are my sins. Since my last confession, I've missed some masses. I've taken the Lord's name in vain. I've become angry with people in business, and sometimes in my personal life. Father, the other thing that I've done is really hurt a man in an act of vengeance.
Are you sorry for these sins?
All but one of them.
Do you want the Lord to forgive you of that one as well?
I would. But I really don't care.
By the power of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, I absolve you of your sins. For your penance, say 25 Hail Marys and 25 Our Fathers.
And then my soul be clean.
It will, my son.
Father, will God really forgive anyone for any sin they've committed?
There is no unforgivable sin if one repents. That was founded on the cross.
Only say the word and I shall be healed.
That's correct.
Father, at the funeral you said that all mysteries are revealed in the kingdom of heaven. Is that true?
It's a fact. Now say a good act of contrition.
Thank you, Father.
Hey, how's it going? I was waiting for you to call.
Oh, yeah?
So what's going on?
Nothing. You still cool for this afternoon?
No, listen, something came up this afternoon, so
Oh, no. Can't you change it?
I wish I could, but I promised a friend I'd help him out, so.
Oh, come on. We can see each other for an hour and you can still go, can't you? I got us a hotel room and I have a little surprise for you.
Wow. That is pretty tempting. Yeah, let me know where and when to meet you.
2 o'clock, the Park Motel on Route 111.
All right, I'll be there. This better be a good surprise. I'm probably gonna lose a friend over this.
Trust me. I'm so glad you came.
Yeah, me too.
Sit down. How was the trip?
It was good. It was good. Everybody up there was really cool, so.
Oh, good. I thought you'd like them.
I did. So, I brought this. I don't know if you want me to give you the rundown now or what.
Yeah, later. Let's have some fun first. Just give me 1 second. this is.
I was up all night going over that list Clive Thomas gave us. 3 of these guys are locked up, all minor charges stemming from the cult.
You checked their files?
No, they haven't arrived yet. We're supposed to get them soon. We do have the prison visitor log, so all 3 of those guys had a lot of visitors who also appear on Clive's list or up on the big board.
They're giving orders from the inside. And everyone that came in to see them was in their specific sector or below them on the food chain, just like Miller said.
Do they have any future visits planned?
No. The plans for the next one are locked in.
Okay. Put them in federal custody immediately. And get hold of Miller. He probably knows who some of these visitors were.
CO from Summers just dropped these off.
Thanks, Woods.
You got it.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, I'm on a break. Director's all over this thing. What's new?
All 3 of them are in our custody.
We get anything out of them?
No, and one tried to commit suicide, so they're in isolation now.
Any word on Miller?
He's not returning my messages.
Well, drop whatever you're doing and find out where he is.
Hold on, let me triangulate his GPS. He is in Milford, 111.
Go get him.
Howdy, son. Can I help you?
Did you happen to see the guy who pulled up in that red car over there?
Yes, sir. He got here yesterday. Is there some kind of trouble?
No, no trouble. Was he with anyone?
Yes, he's with a young lady in room 186. She was supposed to check out a couple hours ago, but she ain't come down yet.
Would you mind coming over to that room with me?
Yes, sir. Ma'am, you in there? Checkout was 2 hours ago, ma'am. Ma'am?
So, you left here after the meeting, ignored the order to get off the case, and met up with the female POI. He gets shot in the head at close range by a 9mm in what looks to be the middle of some sort of romantic encounter. There's a third person in the room, a male, who is the shooter. When was the last time they were together?
Friday. That's when they met. And then the day that Hawkins saw them.
So, between Friday and yesterday, his cover was blown. Who else knew about this case? Get Clive Thomas back in here.
He didn't know about Miller, though.
He could have had one of us followed.
Get Hawkins back in here, too.
Tom Hawkins, case number 8375, assessment and recommendations. Mr. Hawkins is suffering from acute cases of depression and paranoia. He regularly exhibits both homicidal and suicidal tendencies, posing a threat to the public and himself. He has acknowledged the premeditation of his courtroom attack on the suspect allegedly involved in the kidnapping of his son. It is recommended that the court remand Mr. Hawkins to prevent any further acts of violence. Mr. Hawkins should remain in custody until his case can be formally reviewed.
Tom, can you tell us where you were on Tuesday?
Yeah, I went to church in the morning, actually. Took care of a couple of errands after that. Then I spent most of the afternoon at home checking emails and making a couple of calls. That's it, really.
And you can provide alibis for all this?
Yeah, I have alibis. What's all this about? Look, I don't know what you're looking for, but whatever it is, you get the wrong guy.
Tom, Miller's dead. We found him yesterday at a motel. We think the woman that he was with was the one you saw him with last weekend.
Jesus, guys, I am sorry.
Did you tell anybody about this investigation, or more specifically about Miller?
No. I mean, just my therapist, but she's already got the case details.
We think we know who gave him up, but we have to check every angle. Can you stick around for a while?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. No problem. Whatever you guys need.
I stopped going. I haven't been to a meeting in almost a year.
And what time would you say that conference call was finished? Okay. I think that'll be all for now, Mr. Fielding. Thank you for your time. I do appreciate it. Bye now. Well, you're free to go. Our apologies.
Hey, no worries. I know it's important. Listen, man, I am really sorry about Miller.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Thomas, one more time. After you left the station, tell me exactly where you went and who you spoke with. Exactly.
What'd you find out?
Nothing. Hawkins and Thomas are both clean. We have nothing else.
Hello, this is Tracy Broder.
Hey, it's Tom.
Hi, Tom. How are you?
What I was telling you the other day about the undercover FBI agent.
Yes, the one you were suspicious about.
Yeah, exactly.
What about it?
He was found dead in a motel.
Oh my God, that's just terrible. Do they know what happened?
Hey!
What is it?
All three of these guys are seeing Tracy Broder as their therapist. I went through their files, and none of these cases qualify for psychiatric treatment, particularly at her level. And they're all seeing her specifically at her request. I guess worse. I ran a background check. She graduated from Dartmouth with a degree in religious studies. After she graduated, she went on some group pilgrimage to the Middle East and Africa, and part of that group was taken into custody for attending a local tribe's human sacrifice. And no one was able to prove that they actually participated in the sacrifice, so there were no convictions, but they were extradited back to the U.S. Tracy Broder was one of them.
Shit. Hawkins told her we had someone undercover.
Well, fuck, that's how they were able to ID Miller. It's her.
Go get Hawkins before he gets her.
All right.
Are you okay?
I don't know. I thought all I wanted to do was go after whoever was involved in this, but I don't know anymore. I swear to God, Tracy, I thought he was in on it. But he was just a kid in over his head. What if I had killed him? I don't even know where to go from here.
Well, from the tragedy of one can come great healing for many. Maybe that's why it happened.
The tragedy of one comes great healing for many.
I was thinking some sort of ritualistic or religious group. Did you tell anybody about this investigation, or more specifically about Miller?
You fucking bitch.
You okay, Tom?
Say the word.
Tom!
Say the word.
Where's Dr. Broder, Tom? Where's Tracy? Tom, where'd that blood come from? Tom, stop walking. Tom, I need you to stop walking. Tom, stop. I need you to stop walking, Tom. Tom, I need you to stop. Tom, sit. Tom! No! Don't! Tom! No, Tom. Tom, stop! No, Tom! No, Tom!